So let's begin the discussion with life cycle costing. The brother of life cycle costing is target costing. And we'll be looking at that one also in that case. Now, when we talk about life cycle costing, what are we talking about? It's simply the accumulation of cost over the product's life. Okay? It's the accumulation of cost over a product's life. Now, if you remember from economics, that is, if you didn't run away from your economics class, a product goes through some cycle. So we have the first, the second, the third. Trying to get something better here. Research and development, introduction, maturity, growth and maturity. So let's go this way. So we're going to have R&D here. That is research and development. Then the product will be introduced, so introduction stage. Then we go to the growth stage. Then we go to the maturity stage. Then we go to the decline stage. So these are the 5 stages that each product goes through. So usually when you see a typical product life cycle diagram, so this is a product life cycle diagram. When you see a typical product life cycle diagram, it starts with introduction, growth, maturity, and what? Research and decline. But at this stage, what we want to do is we want to incorporate the research and development, because life cycle costing has to do with calculating the total cost we are going to be incurring over the product's life. So 1, research and development. How much cost are we going to be incurring there? Introduction. How much cost we're going to be incurring? Growth. How much cost we're going to be incurring? Maturity, in that order. Now, at research and development stage, if you remember what we did under impairment of assets or intangible assets, at the research and development stage, the company is going to be incurring costs such as machinery costs that they are going to be incurring. They're going to be incurring also some technical costs here. Then they will be incurring issues in relation to the production of the product. All of these costs will be incurred at the research and development stage. Now, once we produce the product has to be launched or introduced into the market. And that is what refers to as what? The introductory stage. Now, the features of the introductory stage is that, are that, 1, sales are going to be low here. So you're going to have low sales here. 2, there will be no competition here. 3, the costs are going to be high. So we're going to have high cost here. Why? Because we're going to pay for advertising, marketing, promotion of the products. All of these things are going to be incurring at the introductory stage. So how much cost are we going to be incurring at the introductory stage? That is the second item. Third, from the introductory stage, the product goes to the growth stage. This is where we are a bit known in the industry. We are a bit known in the market. So here, sales levels begins to increase. And comparatively, cost will be increasing, sales will be increasing, because here you're going to do more advertising, more promotion, and more activities to promote the product. But also here you'll be incurring costs. So all the costs you'll be incurring, it will be estimated. Then maturity is where the product gets to the peak. This is where we are known in the market. We are almost everywhere in the market. So that is the maturity stage. So at this stage, sales is more, and usually cost is substantially less. So the company is making more profit here. But this is what happens. Many companies, when they get to the peak, they stop doing what made them start the product, or what made them start production of the product. So at this stage, they become very lazy, they relax, so the quality of the product diminishes, the dedication they have for their customers diminishes, and everything they do that brought them here, they are not able to continue to do it again. For that reason, the demand of the product falls, and people begin to complain about the quality of the product, so they come to the declining stage. So what are we saying here? We must know everything that happens at this stage, but at the end of the day, the company is going to estimate that at the research and development stage, we're going to be incurring cost of $20,000. At the introductory stage, we're going to be incurring cost of $25,000. At the growth stage, we're going to be incurring cost of $10,000. At the maturity stage, we will incur a cost of, say, $5,000. When the product is declining and we need to sell off the assets, pay off redundancy fees, and all those things, we're going to be incurring cost of $50,000. When we sum these up, that is what gives us what? The life cycle cost. So when we say the life cycle cost is the summation of all the costs over all the costs expected to be incurred over the life of the product. So when we sum this up, 20, 25, that is 45, plus 10, 55, plus 10, 65, plus 15, and that is going to be 80, meaning that the life cycle cost is $80,000. But always, the examiner is not going to just ask us to calculate the life cycle cost. Rather, he will ask us to calculate the life cycle cost per unit. So how do we get the life cycle cost per unit? The life cycle cost per unit is going to be the total life cycle cost so the total life cycle cost divided by total units during what? The life cycle. So that is how we get the life cycle cost per unit. So total life cycle cost divided by the total units over the life of the product. So if we anticipate that this project has a life of 5 years, and throughout this 5 years, every year we produce 1,000 units, then throughout the 5 years is going to be 5,000 units. In that case, our life cycle cost per unit is going to be this $80,000 here divided by the units to be produced over the life, 5,000 units, and whatever answer we get becomes the life cycle cost per unit. Any question on life cycle costing? I'm done. The formula, what is the total life cycle cost divided by total units during the life cycle? Now, life cycle costing is closely related to target costing. So we're going to be doing that hand in hand. So what is target costing? Target costing is simply the cost expected to be incurred in order to achieve a desired profit. The cost expected to be incurred in order to achieve a desired profit. So as the name suggests, target costing. It is a cost we are targeting, we are estimating, we are expecting to incur in order to achieve a targeted, in order to achieve a desired profit. So to put it in perspective, meaning that target cost equals the selling price minus profits. The target cost is the selling price minus profit. And remember, this is the desired profit of the company. Now, what does this mean? Let's say we are a clothing manufacturing firm. So we produce clothing using wooden materials. And we want to make a certain profit on each sale. So let's say we want to make a profit of $5,000 on each sales we make. Meaning that we will undertake a market research and find out how much can we sell the product. So the marketing department will give us the competitive price that we can sell. So let's say we can sell our product at $7,000. If we can sell our product at $7,000 and we desire to make a profit of $5,000, meaning our target cost will be what? $2,000. What does that mean? It means we need to incur a cost of $2,000 in the producing of what? The clothing. If not, then we cannot achieve what? This target. This is what target costing is about. Now, why the relationship between life cycle costing and target costing? The relationship is that if your life cycle cost is more than the target cost, that means that we must find ways and means to reduce the life cycle cost. Let me take that again. If your life cycle cost, LC, is greater than your target cost, TC, then we have to find ways to reduce the life cycle cost. Because remember, if your life cycle cost is more than your targeted cost, that means that you are not going to make what? The desired profit. And if you don't make that desired profit, that is going to affect us as a company. So that is what you need to understand there. But the question we ask ourselves is, if our life cycle cost is more than the target cost, then what do we do? What are the options available for us to be able to reduce the life cycle cost? Any ideas? Let's crunch some numbers. So our life cycle cost is 2,500 and our target cost is 2,000. Meaning you will incur this cost, but you need to incur this cost. Because if you incur this cost, you will make this profit. But if you incur this cost, you will make this profit. The focus is on the profits we want to make as a company. So the question is, how do we reduce this life cycle cost from 2,500 so that it will be equal to the target cost of 2,000? Any idea? How do we do that? From the understanding you gathered here, how do we reduce or maximize the returns on the product life? Yes, I'm listening. Ideas. What do you know about it?
The research and development, the life cycle must try as much as possible to reduce the cost. So, assuming the research and development, you have to find ways and means to reduce that cost.
That's correct. That's correct.
Reducing the life cycle.
That's correct. That is a key point. The reason is that many organizations incur cost in designing products. So sometimes the designing cost of a product is so much high that it affects what? The life cycle cost. So one of the ways available for us to maximize returns or reduce the life cycle cost to be equal to the target cost so that we will make profit. Remember, this is the profit we want to make. So the way we can do that is to what? Reduce the designing costs that we're going to be incurring at the designing stage. What else? Increasing the selling price of the product. Okay, that could be a point, but that is subject to debate in the sense that we may be in a perfect competitive market, which means we don't have control over price, because there are people equally doing that. So if you increase your price, there should be a reason why you are increasing the price. But then, in that case, when we are increasing price, then more or less like our target cost is further even reducing, which is a good news for us. But then we will have to test to see, are we in a market where we can actually increase price? But it's a point. Yes, we can increase the price subject to the fact that we are in the market of controlling the price of the products. Any other points? One of the things that cause a product to, or an organization to incur a lot of cost is when the product takes time to be introduced into the market, or the product takes time to be launched in the market. Now listen, if you produce a product and you are supposed to launch the product in February, but you wait and launch the product in December, that means it will prolong the product life cycle. So one of the ways to reduce or maximize the life cycle cost is to minimize the time to the product. minimize the time to the market. You minimize the time to the market. Then another option that we have available is to minimize product proliferation. So we need to make sure that people are not doing a fake product of ours. In Ghana here, that is very common. Where you see one product doing well, before you realize another company or somebody else is somewhere doing another product. So one of the ways that we can reduce the life cycle cost is by minimizing product proliferation. Now, how do we do that? How do you think we can do that? Minimizing that people don't produce an identical product like yours. How do you think we can do that? Any idea? How do you think we can minimize that copying of our products? Sometimes we can minimize that if we pay close attention to the way the product is designed. Because sometimes, almost always, copying of a product is about the designing. That is why China people can produce a phone that looks like an iPhone and they can deceive you about it. But unless you know iPhone, about their lenses at the back, if you know about their lenses, it's different from other phones. So that is designing. They are incurring costs in designing that component to prevent what? Proliferation. So one way we can do that is that to minimize that is to incur some costs in what? Specifically designing it in such a way that nobody can what? Copy it. There is also another case about Apple by, I think, Qualcomm Limited, a company that produces chip, and they are on Apple rather, about stealing, literally, some of their chip or ideas in their phone. And Samsung has paid millions of dollars about stealing ideas from various phones. It all because of what? The way it is designed, so that they protect against what? Proliferation. Because remember, if the thing, there is a sample of that thing in the market, meaning we can't sell. And since we cannot sell more, we cannot achieve what? Our target profit. So these are some of the ways through which we can maximize the returns on the product's life or minimize the life cycle cost in order to help us to achieve our target profit. Right. So let's see how these two come to play with an illustration. So let's look at a simple illustration here. So put it down. A company is planning a new product. A company is planning a new product. A company is planning a new product. Market research suggests that the product would last for 5 years. Market research suggests that the product would last for 5 years. At a selling price of $10.5 per unit, at a selling price of $10.5 per unit, they expect to sell 2,000 units in the first year. They expect to sell 2,000 units in the first year. They expect to sell 2,000 units in the first year and 12,000 units in each of the other 4 years. And 12,000 units in each of the other 4 years. So we are given some preambles in the question, and I like to put the preambles down. 1. we are told that the life of this product is 5 years, right? We are giving selling price per unit as how much? 10.50. Then we are told also that in year 1, the company is going to sell how many units? 2,000 units, and then from year 2 to 5, they will sell how many? 12,000 units. Now, we are told that the company wished to achieve a markup of what? 50% on cost. This is something you need to understand. So to calculate our target cost, we know that the target cost is our selling price minus the profit. So we've been given the selling price to be 10.5. But what is the profit? We are given markup. Now you must know that markup is always on the cost of production, and his brother is called margin, and that is on selling price. So if the examiner gives you markup, but you don't have the cost and you have the selling price, then you need to move from markup to margin. How do you move? I like to do KG mathematics, then after that I do CA mathematics. What is a KG mathematics? If I say that we have a markup of say 20% and we have a selling price of say $10 and we are looking for the cost price, how do we go about it? You know that selling price is equal to cost price plus profit, isn't it? So we are given a markup and we are given the cost. So in this case, our selling price will be the cost 10 plus the markup. Since it's the markup, it will be 20% of 10. Sounds good? No, I'm not using this illustration. Okay. I'm just using a preamble here. So what do we have? 10 plus 20% of 10. That should be, no, 2. And let me work. Confirm. 2. Now listen carefully. I said cost price is 10 and markup is 20. Look at the second scenario. What if I was given markup of 20, but this 10 is actually the selling price? So if I'm giving selling price to be 10 and I'm looking for cost price, meaning I don't know the cost price, but the examiner has given me what? Markup. And I know markup should always be on what? The cost. Now, so since I don't know the cost, I will say let the cost represent what? X. So that it will become X plus 0.2x. Do you understand? Do you understand? 0.2x. So 20% of the cost. So this becomes 1.2x. This becomes 10. What does that mean? I divide by 1.2. I divide by 1.2. So what do we have? 10 divided by 1.2. 8.3. Now, what does this kg mass mean? It simply means that if I am giving the selling price, but I am giving markup, I will add the markup to it. So to get my profit, it will become the markup divided by 100 plus the markup times the selling price. Do you understand? Why do I say that? Look at it. From this scenario, our profit will be 20 over 120 times the selling price of 10. Punch it out and let's see what we get. We should get a difference between this and this, which is 1.7. Do you understand? This is what you have to know as a CA student. We're a KG mass. So what are we saying? I am saying that markup is on cost, margin is on selling price. But when the examiner gives you the selling price, but he tells you markup, then you have to change from markup to margin. How do you change? You look at the markup and divide it by 100 plus the markup times the selling price that has been given to you. The opposite is true. What is the opposite? What if we are giving cost price, but we are giving margin? So how do we go about that? So cost, it's say 10, but the examiner gives us margin of say 25%. So this is where you got to be careful. It's the same workings, but this time around we will subtract. So if we are giving cost, but the examiner says margin, then the profit will be equal to 25% over, or let me just, the margin over 100 minus the margin times the the cost price. So when you have cost and margin, you subtract. When you have selling price and markup, you add up. These are the two things you need to understand when it comes to moving from markup to margin. Why did I emphasize on that? Because the examiner will get you here, and some of you are also doing financial reporting, and you'll be needing this in consolidation. So it's a key area that you need to understand. Now, so now that we know when to do what, go back to the question and calculate for me the profit. In this question, we are given a selling price of 10.5, but the examiner said the markup is what? 50%. So we have a selling price and we have a markup of 50%. So what do we do? How do we get a profit? Because we need a target cost. Which of the two do we go for? The first one. The first one. So when you go for the first one, meaning that your profit is going to be 50% over 150 times what? 10.5. So what will we have for the target cost? TC. So 10.50 minus 3.50, and so we get what? 7. So that is the answer to the I question. So we say that target cost is selling price minus profit. But the reason why I ranted in those things here is because the profit here can be a markup profit or a margin. And I'm saying if the examiner gives you selling price but you are giving markup as it is in this question, you go with this approach. But if you are giving cost but the examiner says margin, you go with this approach. If you forget, go with kg mass. You won't get it wrong. Once you know this kg mass, you can substitute the things inside and you will get your profit. So you can decide, not about deciding, no, this is what you have to do. But if you forget this, this is an alternative channel for you to find yourself as a prodigal son before the people. Any question?
Is it always the case that when you are giving a selling price, giving a markup?
No. So you must. That is why I emphasized in the beginning, that markup is on cost, margin is on sales. So assuming they give you selling price, then they say the company makes a margin of 50%. Then you just do the percentage on it, like I illustrated here. But it is when you have selling price and you are giving markup, or you have cost and you are given margin. That is where these guys comes to talk. So the fundamental thing is markup is on cost, margin is on selling price. So anything opposite this, we are going to be using this ideas. So the next thing we do is to calculate the life cycle cost. So how do we calculate the life cycle cost? We were given some preambles in the question for the life cycle cost of the product. Like what is here? Okay, so finish writing. Total output. In the first year, we are told we are going to produce 2,000 units. After that, we will produce how many? 12,000